Welcome to the University of Toronto's Athletic Complex. I'm John Bennett alongside James Herbert. We're here for a great doubleheader between the University of Toronto Varsity Blues hosting the visiting York Lions. James, tough night last night for the for Laurentian against U of T, getting just spanked.
Well, great night for U of T.
Yeah, absolutely. They got back on track. The women's team of trying to maintain a top three standing in the OUA East, and look to do that against the Lions. Sider kind of loses the handle there, and here comes York. U of T pressuring Pangos outside, and have a quick substitution here.
I think we have an injury here. They're rushing Kerr off the floor.
Not exactly sure what's going on, in all honesty.
Well, Kerr had to leave the floor. I didn't see exactly what happened, but they had a little injury substitution there.
So new face for the Lions, and ball goes into Pangos. Swings corner. U of T doubling on the sideline. Great defensive set by U of T early on. Nothing going for the Lions, James.
Well, the first offensive possession for both teams. Haven't really got anything going.
So here comes U of T looking to kickstart the offense. Sherry Pierce. Feed into Stanchis, and she misses off backboard. Lions trying to push the pace. Pangos pushes it up to Ferguson.
I do like the little scoop from Stanchis, though. Didn't get it to fall, but not a bad attempt.
It's something new she's tried in the last few weeks, I've noticed. She usually seems to be more of a bruising post inside, but can still step out and shoot that 10-footer.
How many turnovers have we had so far? Every possession almost.
There's Stanchis going to work. Medry crashes in there, and she gathers her own miss. So it's 2-0 for U of T early on. Just a minute 30 into this one. Blues coming off a 69-51 win over Laurentian last night. An ugly game, to say the least, shooting-wise for U of T, but they just absolutely dominated the offensive boards, James. Out-rebounding York on the offensive boards by nearly 20 rebounds.
20 rebounds.
It was just ridiculous, in all honesty. They struggled handling the ball. Laurentian, that was, against that U of T pressure. And they also just had a lot of trouble hitting free throws and being able to gather any possible misses. U of T with second and third chances as Medry looked like she came up with the ball, but a little stumble, and it's going to stay U of T ball here.
Yeah, the shot clock buzzer shouldn't have gone off. That obviously wasn't a violation. She had the steal with both hands there. But you talked about the offensive rebounding. That's really been a strength of U of T pretty much all season. I mean, out-rebounding a team by 20 isn't what they do every time out, but that has been an advantage of theirs against almost every team that they faced.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the statistics from last night, and both teams shooting similar percentages from the floor, but when you have 20 more shot attempts, you're going to win the game.
Yes.
Yeah, Laurentian really struggled against the pressure, as York is so far tonight, committing 18 first-half turnovers. Seems
like both teams are on pace to do that this time, but maybe it'll get less sloppy here.
And we've got a traveling violation on Pangos. 2-0 remains the score. 7:30 left in the first quarter. Pierce charging in. Stanchis grabs the board, and she's going to go to the line for two.
3 York bodies there on the inside, but nobody bothered to actually put a body on Stanchis. She just sort of went right in there and grabbed it.
Yeah, and I think that's been a trend for them, not just the offensive rebound, but how they do it. It's not one person crashing the boards, just getting lucky with tip outs and snagging a board, not one huge body, but they do it as a team. There's always at least two people in there in the paint trying to crash the boards. So Staunches hits the second of two. 3-0 U of T, 7:20 to go in the first quarter. York looking for somewhere to go. And we've got a foot out of bounds. Maybe no, we've got a foul call.
See Pangos talking to Ferguson after that play. I think Pangos thought Ferguson wasn't in the right place or should have made a cut to the ball. I don't think she enjoyed being trapped in the corner like that on that possession.
Yeah, it kind of looked like somebody was supposed to go corner, and so Pangos just decided to dribble there and have somebody else fill up around that 45-degree angle. Nonetheless, it stays York ball.
Another turnover.
Now they're really struggling against that pressure, and a great little finish there by Rachel Sider. She's done a great job in the starting lineup. She helps them get out and run, and she's done a great job filling in and as a starter. Oh, nifty little move there, trying to put it between Pierce's legs. But it's U of T basketball, and here's Stratton.
I love how Pierce just jumped on that ball there.
A pump fake and a kick to Sider, and there's points for U of T. So 8-0 for U of T early on. James, they're just going to town with this one. So 6:26 to go in the first quarter. 8-0 for the University of Toronto varsity Blues, off to a great start. Can't say enough about the pressure early on. U of T's really struggled to be able to get it just over half. And here's another turnover. Pierce with the steal. Pierce struggled offensively last night, but she made up with defensive efforts like that. And Joanna Medry had a solid game in double digits last night. It's 11-0 as she hits the three, and another turnover.
York is rattled. That pass wasn't even really a forced turnover. Some of the other ones has been because of the pressure defense. Now it just seems like U of T has gotten in their heads with this press.
York would be in tough without any injuries as Rachel Sider hits the three, but with two starters out with injuries, they're really struggling.
This is rough for the Lions right now.
Medry looks a little shaken up. Michelle Belanger is going to bring somebody in to sub off for Medry. It's going to be Leanne Bailey coming onto the floor. Pierce just settling things down against this 2-3 zone. Stratton ready to shoot. She's going to jack this one. Off back rim, and Stanchis gets in, but Stratton gathers her own miss. Little shovel pass to Stanchis. So 14-0 for your University of Toronto varsity Blues with 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Pangos dealing, finding in the corner. Finn misses that one. Pierce manages to gather the miss, throw it off the York defender, so it's going to be U of T ball on the end line.
That shot by Finn in the corner was the first open look they've had all game. I mean, York's struggling to even get field goal attempts up there.
So U of T beats the press. Here's Sider dumping it in low. They've got a great size advantage with Stanchis on the inside. She comes away with nothing, and here's Pangos. Trying to deal with the pressure, getting doubled by Stratton and Sider. Open shot corner, and that one's airballed. Finn comes in for the board, and she doesn't get anything out of it either. 4:20 to go in the first quarter. 14-0 for the varsity Blues. Here's Bailey. Stratton inside, and caught off balance was Rachel Sider. She turns the ball over.
That was a good cut by Sider. If she had just caught that confidently turned, she would have had a layup. She just lost her balance when she got the ball, though.
Outside shot missed, and a follow by Kerr.
With 3:55 left, they finally get on the board.
They're on the board, James, so a 12-point deficit. As Stratton misses there. Kerr grabs the defensive board, and Stanchis looks like she's going to be whistled for the foul. Always tough to lose players due to injury, James, but when you're losing two players in your backcourt, your leading scorer, and your primary ball handler, that's tough to overcome. And coming into this game, you've got to be thinking that York's outmatched, but when you lose your leading scorer and your primary ball handler, that's...
Even with a healthy squad, they wouldn't be favored to win this game. They came in 7 and 11, sorry. And, against this U of T press, you really need your backcourt to be your primary guards here, and they don't have them tonight, and it's showing with all the turnovers.
Yeah, we've seen the best in the CIS struggle to deal with the pressure.
For sure.
I mean, when you look at a team like Windsor coming to town, even they had problems with the pressure, and they're a top caliber CIS women's basketball team, so you definitely need your starting point guard to be on their A game, and if that point guard isn't available, it's just tough.
Medry checking back in now.
Oh, so Sherry Pierce off the floor now. Nice little shot, baseline by Bailey.
Quick shot, but a totally uncontested shot.
Pangos picked up by Stratton. There's that double. Finds the man in the corner. That one doesn't go. Kerr gathers the miss and kicks. Ernest drives. I think we're going to have a foul call. Amanda Lausen whistled for the foul with 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the first quarter. 16-2, James. And
16-2 in that situation, if you're York, you just have to completely ignore the score. Pretend 0-0 and just go after it, because it's daunting, especially just knowing that you've only managed to put 2 points up with the first quarter almost done. It's really deflating. It's hard to keep your energy up. You just have to try to ignore it.
So they bring a 3-1-2 press, and an easy look comes out of it for U of T, but they miss, and here comes York.
I don't know what happened there with Lausen. Just needed to take her time and put it up softly off the glass, but she rushed it even though there were no defenders near her.
Yeah, uncharacteristic of her for sure, or any U of T player for that matter. It looks like a three in the key.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. That's just a really tough call to happen at this point in the game.
Every turnover on York's part just has to be so deflating. Great pass.
And Christy Shute finishes that one off. This is going to be a real problem for York. The mobility and size of U of T. Working around the inside, trying to look for some options inside, finding Kerr. Kerr spins and kicks. Side rim, and Medry pushing the pace. There's Stratton into Sider. And a cutting Medry is found by Shute rather. And there's 2 easy points, 20-3 with a minute 30 left in the first quarter.
Feels like U of T are playing 6-on-5 here.
Nice look there for Kerr. And that one's got to hurt. You get a good look out of the possession, and you just don't convert on it.
Yeah.
There's Medry from the baseline. Back rim on the 3, and Kerr skies for the boards. 1 minute left in the first quarter. 20 points for your University of Toronto Varsity Blues. 3 for the visiting York Lions. Amanda Lum's going to check into this one shortly. York looking for anything. They're fronting Kerr in the post, and that's causing fits for the York guards on the outside. Stratton's going to try and play keeper. She gets whistled for the call. She wanted that one maybe a little bit too much. She had numbers. Could have dumped it off, and I'm never against Jill Stratton deciding to take it all the way in for 2. She definitely had a teammate with her. Great awareness by Kayla Pangos.
Seemed like Stratton just decided she wanted to put a shot up, but didn't know exactly how she was going to go about it, and all of a sudden it was too late and she had committed a foul.
Pangos dealing with the double team. Lob into Kerr. She's a triple teamed on the post. Swung back to Pangos. Up top, trying to get something going.
U of T is absolutely swarming them on every possession.
Now, it looked like for a second there that Finn was going to be able to come up with her own miss, but goes out of bounds. So U of T ball with 15 seconds left in the first quarter. 20-3 for U of T. As passed by Bailey. Here's Medry. Lum looking for options. Into
Lausen with the buzzer.
Nice little shot by Amanda Lausen. So at the end of one, it's 22-3 for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. We'll be back with the second quarter in moments' time. And we're back with the second quarter of action. U of T looking for win number 2 on the weekend. They defeated Laurentian last night 69-51. And it's looking promising, James, for win number 2 of the weekend. They lead 22-3.
Yeah, they won by 18 last night. I wouldn't have anticipated they were up by 19 after 1 here. But good things happen when you hold the opposing team to 3 points in a quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to hold them scoreless for almost about 7 minutes, James, in that first quarter. I mean, it's just tough going. As we mentioned, York without 2 starters in this game, having a lot of trouble playing against that press of U of T. So 22-3 for the Varsity Blues. 9:15 to go in the first half as Lausen misses from inside. U of T holding back here, not going with the full court press in the second. But Lum has some great pressure, forcing the York Lions to start their offense 35 feet away from the basket.
Impressive that Lum was able to shovel that ball away. I thought we were going to have a tie-up.
Christie shoot, nice save there, and Medry's going to let go from the top of the circle. Off front rim. This has got to be coaching when you look at the way that Amanda Lum and Sherry Pierce crash the boards. They're always in there.
Yeah, I think they've been given orders to... The offensive rebounds are a priority, and you saw its importance last night in the game against Laurentian, but I think just in general that's the philosophy rather than necessarily always worrying about getting back on defense. They encourage the guards to go hit the glass and get extra possession.
So a 2-point guard lineup here for U of T with Pierce and Lum both on the floor. 8:25 to go in the first half. 22-3 for the Varsity Blues. Nice little pump fake and kick. Shot from the corner. Haley Finn knocking that one down, doubling York's point total, making it 6. And a rip there by Ferguson, getting out of the double. Finds Finn on the wing. There's Kerr from baseline and misses that one. There's Amanda Lum. Slicing through the lane, loses the handle, and Ferguson comes up with it, hands it off to Kayla Pangos. Pangos pressured by Lum. Kicks out. And that one rims out, but Kerr's there to clean up the trash.
This is her second offensive rebound of the quarter. The first one was a big rebound, but then she couldn't make the little gimme. This time she's able to get it to drop.
York off to a much better start in this quarter. Looks like Sherry Pierce is going to pick up a foul.
York already has more points this quarter than they did in the first.
Yeah, able to put up 5 points so far in 3 minutes of time.
It's a 5-0 run.
Absolutely right, James. This one's tightening up. 22-8 for the Varsity Blues over the York Lions currently. Longhour with some pressure. So just when you thought the press had disappeared, they bring it right back. And Longhour...
There's a bit of a force by Ernest, I thought.
Great shot there by Julie Longhour.
That was a tough finish by Longhour in transition. What a steal, too.
She just brings such an energy to this U of T team. When she comes on the floor, her length causes all sorts of problems along with her speed. Looks like we've got York basketball.
Maybe an inadvertent whistle?
That might be
I don't think a foul was called.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't signaled to the scores table, so. So after the inadvertent whistle, York losing the handle, Kerr that was, losing the handle off the inbounds. 6:28 to go in the first half, 24-8 for the U of T Blues.
Totally unnecessary turnover on York's part.
Here's Pierce. Over to Stanchis, to Longhour. Longhour kicks to Pierce. Pierce hits front rim, but Longhour gathers the miss. She's all over the floor, James.
Yeah, it was a good pass to Pierce, too. She didn't get the assist, but that was a wide open jumper for Sherry Pierce on the left side.
Van High misses that one. Here comes
swinging
York.
elbows there.
Oh, a double there by Stratton and Pierce, two of the best in the CIS in terms of guard play. And Julie Longhour with another finish on
made
the
an impact
break.
on this game quickly.
26-8 for the Varsity Blues. 5:20 to go in the first half. Looking for Kerr inside, finding her. She's immediately swarmed. And shot corner goes front rim by Haley Finn. Here comes Stratton. Finding Van High inside to Stanchis. She's going to try and pick up two from the free throw line.
Stanchis is good at kind of going through your arms on the inside and drawing fouls, getting to the line.
Going through your arms.
Well, you know, creating the contact. If the defender doesn't have her arms straight up, she'll just kind of go into you.
It's a heads-up play. So checking into the game for the York Lions, April Hill, the third-year player from Montreal, Quebec. And there's Longhour with the offensive board off the miss. So 27-8 for the Varsity Blues. They've got the ball with 4:50 to go in the first half. Errant pass, trying to go inside to Stratton. That's something we don't see Jill Stratton do a lot, post up. But it'd be interesting to see her use that size advantage against the York Lions.
She's definitely got a height advantage down there and their long arms too. Should be able to get up shots in the post without much opposition.
Shot missed by Hill and a tie up inside. It's going to stay down there for the moment. Ferguson will look for somebody to deal to on the end line. There's Finn. But Pangos trying to go inside. Finn kicks to Pangos, who's going to set things up with 15 left on the clock. A traveling violation on Haley Finn. That one hurts because they looked like they had good spacing. They looked like they were going to get into something.
That was a good possession, yeah.
And just a quick shuffle of the feet before putting the ball on the floor. So 4:17 to go in the first half, 27-8 for the Varsity Blues. Longhour just got tangled up in that one. Looking for options is Ernest. She finds Finn. Back to Ernest on the inside. Just the height of U of T wreaking havoc on York's post. Stratton breaking out. Nice little spin move, and she finds the bottom of the net. What a play by Jill Stratton. She set that one up perfectly. The last time she had that option on it was a 2-on-2 break.
Could you even see the basket when she released that ball?
I don't know, James. You'd have to ask her postgame. But, she definitely set Pangos up for that one. She drove to the center of the court and then had the
put her in the spin cycle.
Put her in the spin cycle, James, absolutely. That finish off glass was just great. She can't find the bottom of the net, and Stanchis grabs the offensive board. Now back-to-back offensive boards off of free throws. And there's another two for Stratton, 30-8 for U of T. There's Pangos calling it out for options. There's Hill. Hill, little two-man game with and Finn comes away with two. Yeah, simplify the game and try to get some points. Maybe that's what York just needs to go to a couple more times.
If they can get the ball past half court, then yes.
31-10 for U of T. 3:16 to go in the first half. It's going to be York basketball. Hill looking for options, and there just wasn't a whole lot there. Ended up having to go to Kerr for the inbounds pass. Here's Pangos up top, defended by Stratton. Kerr trying to stretch the floor with Stanchis out there, and looks like she got away with a change of pivot foot there. The kick. Pangos driving in. With the defense collapsing, she makes a great left-handed shot there. Nice little runner, so 31-12. 2:45 to go in the first half. Bringing a press. April
Not sure
Hill
who that pass was to.
Coming up with the ball. I think it was one of those, there's space, I'm going to throw it there options. I've definitely gotten caught with that one a lot. That's definitely what my thought process would have been.
Say so. I'm going to go back to that Pangos shot. That was a nice touch on that lefty floater.
.235 to go in the first half. John Bennett, James Herbert with the call here at the University of Toronto. First of two games against the York Lions. 2:35 to go in the first half. 31-12 for U of T. Ferguson controlling on the left side. Over to Ernest, who lets go, and Kerr grabs the miss. This one's going to stay on the end line. So York ball on the end line, trying to get it in. Pangos comes up with it. Feeds Kerr inside, and Pierce draws the jump ball. Nice little weak side help D by Pierce. As they're trying to three-quarter or front Kerr in the post, just make that entry pass as tough as possible. 2:08 to go in the first half. 31-12 for U of T. Pierce, far side, kicks to shoot. Pierce now in the corner, and then U of T is going to reset here. Stratton over to Pierce, who lets go from long range. Kerr grabs the board. Pango settling things down, try and run something for the Lions. York running this 4-1 offense. Had success with the pick and roll on a couple possessions ago, and Looks like they've got something started here as Kerr gets blocked by Pierce.
What a defensive possession.
Yeah, Pierce has really had a hand in the last two possessions on defense. First drawing the jump ball call, then grabbing the snagging the block and getting the 24-second shot clock violation against York. Inside to Van High. Bailey tries to grab the miss, can't get anything out of it. 31 rather to 12 for U of T. 1 minute left in the opening half. York swings the ball left side. Ernest over to Kerr. Kerr looking for options. Spins baseline. Tries to step in. Some good help defense once again by U of T. That time it was Sider coming in and just putting her hands up, trying to stay square to the basket. We'll shoot. Van High cutting to the basket. Nice lefty finish by Janelle Van High.
Yes, U of T is just a step ahead of them on both ends. The rotations are there on defense for U of T, and on offense they're making York move, but York is really having trouble staying with them. And there's another turnover. It feels like there have been about a billion turnovers in this game.
So 12 seconds left in the first half. 33 to 12 for U of T. Sider looking for options, finds Bailey, the swing to Pierce. Pierce is going to let go from 12. That's no good. So at the end of one half, it is 33 to 12 for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues over the visiting York Lions. We'll be back with the second half in 15 minutes. And we're back with the second half. John Bennett with the play-by-play. James Herbert on color commentary. And James, what was a blowout has been, turned into a little bit more of a competitive contest because of a solid second quarter by York. But the
it's
score,
still a 21-point game.
Yes, the score is still double-digit deficit here for the York Lions against the U of T Blues. 33-12 for U of T, a top 10 team in the CIS. Looking to go 2-0 this weekend at home. So Amanda Lum on the far side finds Medry, working a high post option, and Lum's going to let go from long range. Sherry Pierce skying for the board.
Interesting they have Lum out there rather than Jill Stratton to start the second half here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing with this U of T team. They're so deep that who do you take off the floor in one of these situations where you do have a large lead? We saw it last night against Laurentian. They entered the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead, and you can't, as I said last night, you can't play 5 through 10 or 7 through 12 on your roster for a full quarter. You just can't do it. You're risking injury for those players. So at some point you have to have starters in the game. As Pierce with the errant pass over to Medry, so 33-14 for the U of T Blues. 8:36 to go in the third quarter.
Weird unforced turnover in the backcourt. Saw York commit a few of those in the first half, but U of T largely stayed away from at least the unforced turnovers. They did have some turnovers, though.
Solid defense there, and a miss by Samantha Ernest from Oakville, Ontario. York picking up in a 2-2-1 press. Now they settle into the 2-3 zone. Look for a lot of three-point attempts from the corner and from the 45-degree angle.
A 3 in the key again.
Looks like that's what we've got. Head coach Michelle Belanger expecting a little bit better of her girls during that. This is the last home game of the regular season for U of T before playoffs start. Staunches in the corner.
Chasing down that pass.
Staunches back to Pierce. They work this zone pretty effectively. And
smallest player
Lum
on the court sneaks in there.
Nice little board from Amanda Lum. She's played solid.
Big board for Amanda Lum.
She's played solid basketball over the past 2 games and gotten a chance to show what she's capable of because of the leads in both games. Nice little side step by Lum. Little Manu Ginobili move there. And she comes up with the ball once again. U of T spacing here as Lum goes corner. Sider lets go.
Against that zone, I think they're going to be able to get open threes on essentially any possession if they want one.
The frustrating thing as a coach, I think, is you know you can get those shots in this zone. So why not try and work the zone just a little bit more and try and get
a layup.
Something inside of 10 feet. Yeah, a layup. Absolutely, James. So here's Pangos calling it out up top. There's Kerr at the straightaway, back to Pangos. 2-man game with Kerr and Pangos, and Pangos had to let go because of the shot clock winding down. 33-14 for U of T with 6:30 to go in the third quarter.
Lucky that wasn't a moving screen on Kerr before the shot clock violation. I thought Pangos went before Kerr was set.
Like that, a York steal, but Medry gathers it and U of T settles down. Staunches playing high, and they go corner to Staunches thought about it for a second. Lum lets go from downtown. Now inside to Pierce, and
we have a bailout foul, I think. Yeah, Pierce is going to go to the line.
That one hurts. Not a lot of action going on against.
You play
that
23
zone.
and a half seconds of good defense.
Yeah, and you give up the offensive rebound off of a shot that didn't even hit the rim. Tough to judge when it does go up as an air ball. You're not typically.
Yeah, it's harder to get those rebounds, but you have to find a way.
So Pierce hits the first of two. With 5:57 left in the third quarter, it's 34-14, a 20-point U of T Blues lead. New York gathers. It's Haley Finn with the rebound there. Here's Pangos going to work against Lum. Ernest. York swings. Medry comes up with a steal. Here's Pierce out and running.
Medry's often able to get her hands in passing lanes like that.
Yeah, she's definitely got a good set of hands there. And I mean, the majority of U of T steals come off of their pressure and just how lengthy they are on the wings, especially. But Medry's just such a tenacious defender that she usually gets in on an awful lot of crossovers, or even when the ball's just being dribbled right in front of her, she forces those turnovers rather than grabbing them off of errant passes. Couple substitutions for the U of T Blues. Jill Stratton coming in for Sherry Pierce. Leanne Bailey for Rachel Sider, and Megan Staunches is subbed out for Amanda Lausen. So Medry and Lum stay on the floor. So Medry finds
Stratton
Bailey.
Is wide open under the basket. They found Lausen though.
Lausen finishes the two, so 36-16, 20-point lead with 4:45 to go in the third quarter. Tenacious pressure by U of T above the three-point line. Lum's right underneath the pile there.
You can just tell how difficult York is having it trying to advance the ball. It's a totally different mindset when you cross half and your objective changes from get a good shot to just survive and beat the press and get the ball out of your hands to a teammate.
So Longhour checks into this one for Amanda Lum.
Lausen just took her eye off of the ball for a second there.
Nice job by Pangos getting through mid-court. Ferguson gets off an okay shot there, but they can't find the bottom of the net. They reset and go inside to Kerr. She kicks to Ernest off front rim. Medry with the board, and here's Stratton with her head up, looking for somebody to go to, and she finds Bailey. Bailey on the left side, skip pass. Back over to Medry. Dump it down. A nice little baseline pass to Medry, and you can just see, James, the height advantage is just so blatantly obvious that, I mean, how do you even combat that? What can you even do about that to try and?
Well, you can't just grow. I mean, you need to send multiple people to the glass, and you need to try to use your quickness as an advantage. But the thing is, I'm not even sure that York is quicker than U of T.
I would definitely say that U of T does have the quickness advantage. Yeah, I'd have to echo that point.
So we're essentially saying there's nothing they can do.
There is just not a lot of options out there on the floor. Let's just be honest. when you're undersized, you got to knock down shots in a game. You really do. You have to be shooting at a pretty good clip to be able to have a chance.
Surrounded by 4 defenders there.
York trying to do it by committee there. Three minutes left in the third quarter, 38-16 for the U of T Blues. Scramble on the floor here, and Kerr comes out with it. Hands back off to Pangos. Seems like Pangos has played this entire game. She's been on the floor an awful lot.
Hasn't taken a whole load of shots, but she's always running that offense. Maybe she should be a bit more aggressive. I like that floater that she had in the second quarter a lot.
And I think this is one of the huge issues for York right now, because they are undermanned in terms of bodies. It's tough to say to Pangos, hey, I want you to beat this press, and then say, okay, now I want you to start being more aggressive on offense. Just beating that press alone's got to tear your legs apart and just really exhaust you throughout the course of a game. And even when
it hasn't been easy to beat this press.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you're not facing a press, you look at who's defending her. It's Jill Stratton. She's got a height advantage and those long arms.
Yeah.
So inside to Kerr. She's got to put it up. She gets called for the travel. Got tied up there a little bit and was called for the travel. So 2 minutes left in the third quarter. And a 22-point lead for U of T.
Kind of a wild, out-of-control move by Kerr. Thought Stratton was going to go for the step back.
And Stratton will let go from 3. So 3 more for Jill Stratton. Now with 7 on the game, she takes a chance with the inbounds play and tries to pick up the steal. Recovers in time to defend outside the 3-point line. There's a 3 by York. And Kerr comes up with the offensive board. She's done a solid job on the boards, but other than Kerr, it's been tough to snag rebounds against this long and tall U of T Blues front line.
Kerr's expended a lot of energy on the offensive glass. Can't fault her effort. Shot hasn't been falling, but the shot hasn't been falling for anybody on this team tonight.
So U of T in this 2-3 zone, forcing York to take some outside attempts on the last couple possessions. There's a kick to Stratton. Pump and go, and finds a man on the baseline. Lausen couldn't hit that one. Looking for options, some great help defense, and York does a good job with ball movement there, finding Emma Ferguson, the Toronto, Ontario native freshman.
Wow.
And great move there by Julie Longhour.
Longhour's had a few impressive finishes.
Yeah, she definitely brought a lot of energy to this lineup as soon as she entered the game. And her speed as a big, I mean, she's able to guard shooting guards and point guards without a whole lot of difficulty because of that length and that foot speed. And then coming the other way, that long stride is tough for other guards to get back in transition. Little miscommunication there between her and
It was strange that
Lausen
Lausen wasn't expecting that pass. She was right underneath the basket.
And a substitution here for the York Lions.
Ernest back in. Kerr to the bench. Just in time for Ernest to wreck her field goal percentage.
So 43-21 after the end of 3 quarters. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in a moment's time. Back with the fourth quarter. John Bennett with the play-by-play. James Herbert with your color commentary. It's the University of Toronto Varsity Blues and the York Lions on SSN Canada. Lions really getting it just taken to them right now by the Varsity Blues score 43-21.
More than doubled up right now.
Pangosal had to line James, two really experienced head coaches in this matchup. On one side, you've got Michel Belanger, the head coach of U of T since the 79-80 season. Before I was born, James. Before you were born.
Yes.
Just,
Bill Pangos also been coaching since about when I was born. 25 seasons with York, qualified for 2 consecutive CS championships in 2006, 2007. Has a pretty famous son that you may have heard of.
Yeah, Kevin Pangos, of course, in his freshman season at Gonzaga, putting up some good numbers. Caleb Pangos, his sister, doing the majority of the ball handling here for the York Lions, especially with their 2 starting guards out for this game. Again, the score 43-22 for U of T with 9:26 left in the game. Now this has got to be tough to see for Bill Pangos. Only 4 years removed from CIS National Championship appearances in 06 and 07. Pangos just gets that one off in time. Stratton coming the other way. Comes U of T. She pumps. Gets off a nice little jumper in the lane.
Good in-between shot by Stratton.
Uncharacteristic for her to be that under control. She's usually looks just so out of control. But we all know it's still Stratton. She's completely in control of the situation in reality, and usually puts up a nifty little scoop shot or a nice little floater.
Well, she had that crazy spin earlier where it looked like she couldn't even see the basket, but I'm sure that she could.
Yeah, at that point, at this point in the game, I think that's a candidate for play of the game, James.
Yeah, that's my play of the game.
So York tries to pick up for half court, and it doesn't really have a whole lot of effectiveness on U of T. 8:11 to go in the game. 45-22 for U of T. And a foul called against U of T, so it'll remain York basketball. Pangos pushing the pace. Kicks. And off back rim, but the miss is followed by April Hill.
Hill has been spotting up for those jumpers all night, and she's been unable to hit them, but
yeah, she's
good on her for following her shot and getting the line there.
Yeah, she's struggling out there for sure. Maybe she can get back on track with a couple makes from the free throw line with 8 minutes left. 45-22 for U of T. This is a stark contrast to what we saw last time these two teams played. U of T still coming away with the win, albeit a 77-64 win on York's floor as Jill Stratton hits the 3 from the corner. 48-22, 7:35 left in the game, and
12 points for Stratton now.
And here comes U of T again. Bailey's going to put in 2 to reach the 50-point mark. 50-22 for U of T. And if you're wondering why U of T is wearing pink, it's Think Pink weekend. In support of breast cancer awareness, U of T women's Lady Blues wearing these jerseys just for this weekend set. against Laurentian and York, of course. Pangos can't find the bottom of the net. Here's Stratton. Just dancing around defenders. Christie shoot. In and out from 3. 6:45 to go in this one. 50-22 for the Varsity Blues. York lets go from downtown.
Lots of quick shots for the Lions, and I think that's kind of what's tempting when you're down this much.
Special game here for Julie Longhour.
Making everything happen in these finishes on the break.
Yeah, she's really found her touch today. Been able to finish just about everything inside. So Julie Longhour going to the line with the Varsity Blues up 22 rather. 53 now to 22 the score after hitting that last one. James, I heard you and Julie's father before the game had a nice little chat.
He just wanted to make sure that we said her name right.
It's a tough name. It's a tough one. I'll give him that. So York letting go from downtown and gathering the miss is Ferguson. Pangos going to reset this one with Stratton defending. A 2 high post set. Kerr drops down. They run a little 2-man game. And a miraculous step through by Ferguson. But wait a second. It was a travel.
Not so miraculous.
So tough play there. Sherry Pierce with a nice little turn.
UFT just having a much easier time getting it past half court. Staunch is frustrated with herself on that miss.
And you know what, for Staunches, it wasn't even her active hands on that play. It was just physical body position and standing there in the right position, not allowing any York players to really move with that body positioning. So physically strong on the inside. So 53-22 for the UFT Blues. 5:39 left in this contest. UFT having a nice little conference. And a miss there by Haley Finn.
Too
Metry
easy.
leaks out.
Oh.
Can't convert.
I spoke too soon.
Sider misses as well on the inside. Kerr trying to get U of T bodies off of her.
Lots of elbows in the past minute or so.
Pangos going back inside. And they kick it out.
Too strong.
Finn not able to find the bottom of the net. Here's Stratton. To Medri. Medri thought about that one for a second. Stratton. Some solid pressure there by Finn. Stanchis lets go for a rare three-pointer. 53-22 for U of T. 4:45 to go in this game.
That might be the end of the night for Jill Stratton. Lum coming back in.
Yeah, with 4:40 left, you've got to think she's going to sit the rest of this game. Nice little steal there by Emma Ferguson.
York hasn't stopped playing. The game may be out of reach, but they're still giving it all they've got. They're still pressing in the backcourt.
And another steal there. Sherry Pierce, 2 straight turnovers there in the backcourt.
Yeah, York bench up and cheering.
And we've got a timeout for U of T. .5:27 left in this ball game, and we have a 53-25 ball game. U of T leading this one. Stratton's going to try and beat the press, try and trap, but Stanchis gathers the pass from Stratton. So Jill Stratton back on the floor in favor of Sherry Pierce at this moment. Go inside to Stanchis, and the scoop shot doesn't go. Pangos bringing it the other way. 4 minutes left. Tries to find Kerr, but Stratton picks that one off, and she's putting her ball handling skills on display. Maybe a little bit overzealous on that one to Joanna Medri.
Yeah.
.53-25 for the Varsity Blues.
I'm surprised that they even put Stratton back in the game.
I think they might just have at least Stratton or Pierce on the floor until York decides to move away from the press. .333 left in the ball game. 53-25 for U of T. 2 dominating performances this weekend for the Varsity Blues. Looking to get back into the top 10 in the CIS rankings. Only the second time this year they're ranked outside the top 10. Unless, of course, you include the opening weekend where they weren't a top 10 team, even though they only really lost one significant player from last year's roster. And a host of veterans returning for this Varsity Blues squad. So 3:14 to go A 53-25 lead for U of T. York still pressing.
I guess you wonder if these 2 wins are going to be enough to put them back in the top 10. Yeah, they were expected to get these wins this weekend, but they've done it in impressive fashion. These games have not been close.
Yeah, you said it right there, James. I mean, playing 2 teams, the bottom of the OUA East, Laurentian with just 3 wins all season, and York with a 7-11 record. So not exactly playing the creme de la creme of the OUA East or OUA West, but nonetheless 2 wins in convincing fashion. So that's got to be considered. They weren't close contests.
I believe we have a backcourt or a 10-second violation there.
Kayla Pango's clearly frustrated on the floor. She's had to deal with this relentless pressure all game long. Tough night for her.
She's probably about ready for the buzzer to sound here. I would be.
Shot by Stratton, front rim. She gets her own miss.
Jill Stratton, on the other hand, can play
great
all night.
pass.
Wow.
Great pass by Stratton to
A lefty
find
pass.
Sider inside. Yeah, nice little shovel pass around a defender, and it's this relentless U of T pressure. Lum on defense, and
I'm not sure why they're still pressing. They're up 30 with 2 minutes left in the game.
Stratton gathers and can't hit for the 3-point play. Like we talked about earlier, it's tough in these big blowouts. How do you really manage the minutes? So we'll be back in 1 minute's time with the remainder of the 4th quarter in this one. Stratton misses the first of 2 with 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. 55-25 for the U of T Blues.
Make that 56-25.
And still with the full court press.
We're under 2 minutes left.
York manages to grab it off the scramble play. They should grab onto this ball.
It looks like U of T is going to keep running that press until the buzzer sounds.
The only real logic I can see to it is maybe a little bit more experience for Amanda Lum in these situations, working this full court press. As Medjry rips the ball right out of Ernest's hands. So here's Stratton with just under 1:35 to go in the game. 56-25 for your University of Toronto Varsity Blues. Looking for win number 14 on the season. Should improve to 14-6 at the end of this one. Minute 21 left. 56-25 York basketball. Here's Kirk. Over to Ernest. Medjry just gets her hands in there for the crossover and can't convert the layup though. Kerr getting pressure from 2 U of T players defensively, and Pangos kicks. Finn can't get that one to find the bottom of the net. Stratton controls. The push to Medry.
York has missed more than their fair share of three-pointers.
Struggling from the field when they do manage to get it into half court. There's the swing over the top, and they find the bottom of that on that opportunity. That's Ferguson for 2. 56-27, 35 seconds left in this one. U of T still getting pressure from York, and York still pressuring U of T for the full court press. Stratton comes away with 2 points. So Stratton now with 15 on the night. Pangos handling with 20 seconds left in the ball game. There's the double team from Stratton. Ball goes corner, and one hits front rim. Stratton not holding up with 8 seconds left. She's going to go for another 2. And that just about does it. The final here at the AC, 58-27 for the Varsity Blues. They improved to 14-6 on the season. York now 7-12 on the year. We'll be back with the men's game in about 15 minutes' time.